I will say it is quite hilarious to see the conversation about Ice Spice in 2024 when back in 2022, even the smallest critique of her was getting people riled up. The smallest critique of asking, can she rap? Can she do these things? What is so important about her that is propelling her career faster than other girls? And people ate us up. For those who were like, girl, I'm not feeling it, we were ate up online. Fast forward to 2024, we're now seeing Ice Spice lose almost 30 million streamers in a year, monthly streamers, a terrible album that has been reviewed and dragged across social media, and multiple fallouts with dark-skinned women who just so happen to be her friends, like who she has benefited from their friendship. And apparently, what is being alleged, stealing their and copying their aesthetic. When it comes to how the industry moves and colorism and all of these systems and stuff, I want y'all to stop playing and period. Y'all got me pissed and I want to talk about it.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
What's going on, y'all? Girl, I ain't gonna lie. That last statement kind of like, girl, listen, child, girl, I'm about to sound like Mama Joyce when she was about to pop Carmen.
And you do that, but you gonna do that by yourself.
That's how pissed off I am. So we are talking about the alleged downfall and all of the things, and Ice Spice being exposed. We have seen the recent fallouts with Baby Stormy, Baby Storm. I don't know why I keep calling it. Is it Stormy or Stormy? It don't matter. It's a no more rain in this house, or whatever she said. But ADHD be kicking in. Girl, there's no more rain. There's no more spice in this ice. Like, it's just not. Girl, Paprika, Miss Poopy, it's about to be done. Like, it's about to be done. And we're going to talk about it because between these fallouts with Stormy and Cleopatra getting emotional, even talking about her experiences with Ice Spice on this tour and how like folks did her on this tour, how Ice Spice did her, how she treated her, like how she talked about her. Like, girl, none of this surprises me, to be honest. And those who know, like those who know, like that's all I'm going to say. Like a lot of us saw, well, I'm not going to say a lot of us because people were scared, but there were enough folks on social media like asking legit things about Ice Spice. I know I was one of them. I was asking what made her so important, and folks were twisting and tying themselves in knots, trying to find a way to describe this thing that Ice Spice has that makes her different. They called it a mood, they called it an aesthetic, all of these things that's like we can't really use to define stuff. It's just like it's a feeling. And what the feeling is, y'all wanting to play the savior for a biracial like girl. Like that's what it's giving. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to say, y'all. Say what you need to say. Go ahead and get your comments out. Oh, I hate light skins. That's the light skin. Pew, pew. All of the things. I'm talking about the industry. I'm talking about the industry and how the industry moves and how desire plays a part in how we consume said artists. Ice Spice is not talented. Period. I said it. Woo, the boogeyman is out. Ice Spice is not a talented rapper. I know talent is questionable, but I'm just saying this fact right now. All of the signs are there. Same signs that we use to judge the other rap girls need to be applied to Ice Spice. Like the same signs that y'all used to drag the other girls, we need to see them be applied here. And we were seeing it back in 2022. When Ice Spice came out with Munch, she had to wig on, and she was dancing and doing this stuff and like folks were saying, oh, it's a mood, it's an aesthetic, like it is what it is, it's just fun. I'm like, okay, what's the difference? It's the sound. And I'm like, okay, but there's other girls who are doing this and not popping, so what makes her different? Like, it was giving cosplay to me. I was not surprised that the wig was not real. I was not surprised that the fro wasn't like real. I wasn't surprised. Nothing wrong with a black girl wearing a wig or afro wigs. Nothing wrong with it. But it's who gets to be able to wear a fro and not being put in a box of undesirable? Like, who is allowed to come out here with a full-fledged fro and be like, oh, this is cute? Like, I like this version. Like, Ice Spice has been selling Desire, nothing else. And it's been working. It's been working so well that she knows it. She's not stupid. She knows that her access and her proximity to whiteness has helped her. She might not admit it. She may play dumb. I mean, she knows it so much, the Desire, she knows that at least, because, you know, she was doing a stream with Kai Cenat, and Kai asked her to rap. Kai said, rap. And what did she do? She turned around and just started. She looked confused, girl. She looked like she had been stunned. She looked like some psychic Pokemon had used psychic attack on her. Like, she was stunned. Like, she didn't know what to do. Like, girl, return. Like, she was stuck. Like, I made it with the stuck face. It was giving stuck face. And she started turning around and she started shaking her butt. Now, we don't have no problem with the booty shaking. We don't have no problem, like, shake more of them. Maybe the world would be a better place if everybody just shook some booty. But, like, Ice Spice in this knowing that, oh, girl, y'all trying to get me to do something that I am claiming to be. Oh, girl, no, man, y'all finna see this butt. Like, y'all finna see this butt. Like, this is what's going on. Like, I'm a bad bitch. Like, that's enough. That's all it takes. And that has been Ice Spice's whole get up. Y'all want to say mood, aesthetic, desire. And I asked somebody the other day, I was like, what makes someone have an aesthetic? Like, if we're saying that a person has an aesthetic, can you have a quote unquote aesthetic and be undesirable? No, you can't. Like, people don't use that to describe you. First of all, they don't even see you. That's first and foremost. They don't even see you. Like, it's not. And I know I've talked about desire so much and stuff. I know tired, and some folks love it, so I'm gonna keep talking about it. Not even that folks ain't got to, but it's the truth. And now we're seeing it come to fruition now with Ice Spice. It's been there. Like, no other female rapper has been able to experience this type of success and this type of access to Drake, to Anna Wintour, to being on the Met Gala, like, or whatever the hell, like, doing all these things, like, without proving herself. And I was having a conversation with a friend who was just saying, like, you know, she's not even a one-hit wonder. And I had to think about that. I was like, she isn't a one-hit wonder, because if we look at the definition and everything around a one-hit wonder is somebody who has a hit that at least can stand some test of time. And it's not doing that. Like, much 5 years from now, like, I don't think so, because all of it was a trend. The music, unfortunately, that is being made because of social media is now trendy. And we've never been in this age before. Like, yes, trends have always existed. There's been times where we wore certain things and certain clothes and all that. Trends have always, and music has always been like, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that, certain sounds and things. But how we're going through music now and how we're able to access music and listen to it, like, very quickly, and, you know, play it, like, it is not lasting as long. So now we have artists can't have a hit because we're consuming you so fast that, you know, it never really hit. It was a trend. And the next stage of trend is always tacky. Like, you cannot wear something trendy when it's not trendy. It's going to be tacky. Oh, that's tacky as hell. There was a time where we used to starch our pants and wear big tall tees and all the other stuff. Like, I was one of those, like, Jabot jeans and Air Force Ones and, you know, starched and all that. And now you're seeing it slightly come back in style. Baggy jeans at least are coming back in style. And we even saw Victoria Monet and even SZA use the Jabot jeans and the big, you know, stuff in the big jeans and stuff in the music videos and stuff. Like, it is now back as a trend, but a couple years after the trend ended, if you would have worn that, you would have been ate up. But when it comes to Ice Spice, her trajectory was different. She did not work as hard. She didn't get a chance to prove herself in these small venues and work her way up. Like, she didn't perfect her craft. Going back to even Glorilla, who recently responded to a tweet that she said she bookmarked, that they were talking about Glorilla falling off. And around this time, yeah, there was a couple of conversations about Glorilla falling off. She had 1 or 2 songs. The girls were like, girl, what is this? She was getting ate up a little bit. But Glorilla responded to that tweet. She said, I couldn't wait to respond to this tweet. She said she got and she started working. She started pushing herself. She said she wanted to prove that she could do it. And that is the thing that separates folks like Glorilla and an Ice Spice. Because Ice Spice hasn't shown us one time that she is interested in perfecting her craft, and she doesn't have to. Why? Why does she have to, when we've seen over and over again darker skinned women being overlooked because of a lighter woman and how the industry projects them and offers them more like resources and stuff? Like, you know, that goes into the aesthetic. And look, we have to start calling these things what they are, because it's dangerous to continuously call what is in colorism, what is legit colorism at play, and calling it aesthetic and it's a look. Nope, it's not a look. It's not a look. It's not a look. It is desire. Say it with me. Like, and desire has played in Ice Spice's whole career, period, to the point she knows to shake her butt on the stage, because a lot of us are consuming her because, you know, we find her attractive. She's quote unquote easy on the eyes. It's so evident, but we don't want to like say that we're that shallow, but we are that shallow. Even Doechii in her latest Paper Magazine spread, which was brilliant and beautiful, talked about how folks were critiquing her looks and talked about that she looks like a man. And what did she do? She put on a jockstrap and some abs, and she said, okay, man, period. Ate that. Doechii, talented. Shout out to Doechii, who album is now like being talked about. Like, folks said, oh my gosh, like Doechii might have the best female rap album of the year. But you really couldn't tell that too much. And that's not Doechii's fault, because I don't want to get caught up into the Flo Milli conversation where Flo Milli responded. She does not like to be placed in that, but it happens. And we do have to do a better job of talking about these female, like these dark-skinned female rappers, more than when we were comparing them in the colorism that they're experiencing and stuff. But I'm gonna be honest, like I'm going to, because I am a dark-skinned person and I have experienced colorism and anti-fatness, and it's important to me to talk about it. Somebody asked me, did I not date light-skinned men? I'm not interested in light-skinned men. I said, yeah, I date light-skinned men, but I understand how the community gives y'all everything and y'all give nothing, to the point that I am checking in with myself as best as I can to make sure that I am not falling into allowing you to be a person that doesn't, you know, mean good for me, or like we don't mesh well. I'm letting you get over and do stuff that I would not allow other folks based off of desire, based off of your proximity to whiteness. Like I'm being a little bit more intentional and making sure that I'm not allowing desire to show up in how I respond to things that I do not like. Like it takes some work, and it ain't for the easy, because you really have to be checking in with yourself. And I need more people to do that. It is the work that needs to be done. And we need to be doing that when we're talking about music. Like we need to be like, why are we consuming Ice Spice? Why are we so interested in her? Because if she was truly that, what is happening now where y'all are not? And people are saying that the stuff hasn't progressed. Like the lyrics are repetitive and lack depth. Like, you know, okay, like y'all can tell that from the beginning. Like you couldn't tell that when she was performing at these festivals and stuff. You couldn't tell that she didn't have that. You can tell. I could. Like a lot of us could. So it's just like, I don't know what to tell you, but yes, like Miss Poopy, Miss Paprika, Miss Spices with no ice, like boiling ice. Like, I wouldn't say this is the downfall of Ice Spice because I never saw it up to begin with. I don't think this is a downfall. I think that what we're seeing is your time up. Why is you not clocking out? Like, like we're seeing that, oh girl, like we ain't featuring you no more. Like, oh, you really are not talented. And not only are you not talented, you're a mean girl. Like, it is clear that you're a mean girl. But I'm gonna tell you how colorism works, even with this Cleopatra situation. Ice Spice hasn't, like, yeah, she's lost 500,000 followers since this incident. But she's still able to do other things. She hasn't been reprimanded to the point that she can't book venues and other stuff. Like, she's still able to do stuff. Like, it's not quote unquote counseling her because she benefits from these systems. It is, counsel culture is not a thing, like, you know, but black folks experience it in a certain type of way. Like, black folks can't do certain things. But with Ice Spice proximity to whiteness, she is allowed to still be a mean girl. She's allowed to do these things because we don't see her as mean to begin with. We don't see her as ugly to begin with. And how we see artists, whether they're like, we see them as ugly or not attractive, like, it plays into how we consume their music all the time. It allows us to, you know, give them an extra whatever based off of that. It allows us to be like, you know what, let me listen. We do that. And that's what's been happening with Ice Spice. And now the time is up because it's like, oh, okay, there's too much conversation about you actually not being talented. Like, the music is that bad, girl. Like, let me tell you this. Do you know how terrible of an artist you have to be to look like that and you can't get people to listen to your music when all the eyes are on you? Do you know how bad you have to be as a light-skinned biracial? Like, you must not have a lick of talent. Like, that is hilarious to me now that I think about it. Like, girl, you know how bad you have to be that with all of this access, like, you're still not able to deliver. With all these eyes, all these connections and stuff, you're still not able. You must don't have no talent. And that's why I feel comfortable saying it. You must don't have any talent, because there have been other light-skinned artists who can play around. There's one particular who y'all love who took a minute to get there. I cannot sing, can't dance, can't perform. Like, but, you know, still was giving these things and folks said it was an aesthetic. And I had to tell somebody the other day, like, this is not an aesthetic. It's not about an aesthetic. It's about desire. It's about desire. They were able to benefit from that, but they eventually found out what their sound was and have been successful. And what's funny is what they do now is quite interesting. Selling beauty. Oh my God. Yes, but oh my God. It's just like, we have to be honest about the things that are happening and the industry and how we play into it too, and how we reinforce these ideals. And, you know, what can we do to make sure that we're showing up for these other girls who are just as talented, probably even more talented, but are not being seen. And I know right now you have Azalea Banks reaching out to and saying that she wants Cleopatra to open for her, and she will be paid and she will be taken care of and all these things. But I'm glad that Azalea Banks is recognizing that, because she is a dark-skinned girl who is very talented, you know, has done some questionable things, but a lot of the other girls have too. And they don't get the same type of, you know, what's name as a Azalea Banks. But Azalea, girl, you know, you've had some stuff that you said about other dark-skinned female artists, and specifically the ones who are fat. You have said some stuff about them. So I'm like, girl, I don't know if this is a win, but it's a cute, like, you know, it's a cute 7 or something for you to reach out and say that you will support her. And yeah, if I was to, you know, see Cleopatra come to Atlanta, I definitely would support her. But, you know, I'm going to show out for my dark-skinned girls because they have it, like, they have it the worst. They have it the worst because the industry does not see them. They don't see them as viable. Like, they just don't see them as something that they can market, because what they're marketing ultimately is beauty. And we really have to be careful of how we use like words like that, because it's just like, that's not what that is. But we can't say, oh, because they're beautiful, because we'll be looked at like, girl. Like, but that's what it is. We'll call it an aesthetic, but it's other folks who dress just like that, and they're not being seen because of what? Ta-da! But these are my thoughts. I don't know. Like, Ice Spice is 24 years old. Like, I'm sure she will be fine. Maybe she'll learn from this experience. I will say this is giving kind of a grand opening and a grand closing. Like, girl, it's been cute seeing you, but girl, they closing the doors on you. And you better get out before it's 9:01, because they might lock you in. That's all I got. Tell me what y'all thought about it. What you thought about Ice Spice when she first came out. Let us know your thoughts on Miss Bellum, aka Miss Paprika, all of the things in the comments, and I'll talk y'all later. Bye.